She left me for a rich man. Now she wants to come back. I met my wife, Sarah, when we were just kids. We grew up in the same town, went to the same high school, and somehow, through all of life's ups and downs, we found each other. I wasn't rich, not by any means, but I worked hard. I built a life for us with my own two hands. We got married at 23, full of dreams and hope. The first few years were tough. I worked long hours at a small business I was trying to grow, while she worked part-time to help with bills. We didn't have much, but we had each other. When our first son was born, I cried. I remember holding him in my arms, promising I would give him a life better than mine. 2 years later, we had another son, then our first daughter, then another. For kids, a house filled with laughter, arguments, late-night fevers, and early morning school runs. Sarah changed after becoming a mother. She became more tired, more focused on the kids than on us. I understood it's what happens. I never stopped loving her. Even when things got difficult, even when the romance faded into routine, I never doubted we were in this together. For 23 years, I thought we were happy. Then she met her, the friend who ruined everything. I still remember the first time Sarah mentioned Lisa. She's amazing, she said. One evening while we were having dinner, she's so confident, so independent. She really knows what she wants in life. I didn't think much of it. My wife didn't have many close friends, and I was happy she had someone to talk to outside of the family. But over time, Lisa's presence in our lives grew. Sarah started going out more. At first, it was just coffee, then lunches, then entire afternoons. If I asked, she would brush it off. We just talk, she'd say. But the things she said to me started changing. Lisa would tell her things like, "You deserve better. He's holding you back. Why are you wasting your life with a man who can't give you everything?" I'd hear Sarah repeat them in small ways. She'd compare our life to others, especially to Lisa's, who had married a wealthy businessman. "Don't you ever feel like we could have had more?" She asked me one night. I looked around our house, at the family we built, at the love we had shared. "What more do we need?" I asked. She didn't answer. That was the first time I felt like I was losing her. The divorce I never saw coming. I had convinced myself it was just a phase, that Lisa would move on, that my wife would see through the nonsense she was being fed. Then one night, she sat me down at the dinner table. The kids were out. The house was quiet. "I want a divorce." The words felt like a punch to the stomach. I stared at her, waiting for her to laugh, to take it back. "I don't love you anymore," she said. "I haven't for a long time." I felt my hands shaking. "Sarah, we've been married for 23 years. We built this life together, our kids." "I don't want to live like this," she interrupted. Lisa made me realize something. I settled. I spent my life raising kids, taking care of a house, living an ordinary life. I don't want that anymore. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "So what do you want?" She looked me in the eye and said, "I want more. I want someone who can make me feel like a queen." That was the moment I knew I had lost her. The divorce was fast, painful. The kids were shocked, confused, angry. Our youngest daughter cried for days. My sons didn't want to talk to her, but she didn't care. 2 months later, she remarried. A businessman, wealthy. Exactly the life Lisa had promised her. She left us behind without a second thought. 5 months later, she came back. I was sitting in my living room when the doorbell rang. I opened it to find Sarah standing there. She looked different. The confidence she had when she left was gone. Her eyes looked regretful. "Can we talk?" she asked. I crossed my arms. "About what?" She took a shaky breath. I made a mistake. I let out a bitter laugh. "Yeah, you did." Tears welled in her eyes. "I miss you. I miss our family." I didn't say anything. "I thought I wanted something better," she continued. "But he wasn't you. He didn't care about me, not really. He wanted a trophy, not a wife. I had everything: money, luxury, but I felt empty." I clenched my jaw. "So now that you've realized money isn't everything, you want to come back?" She nodded, eyes desperate. "I love you." I never stopped. "Please, Let's fix this. Let's be a family again. I looked at her for a long time. I thought about the nights I spent alone, the tears my children shed, the pain she had caused. Then I said, no. Her eyes widened. What? You made your choice, I said coldly. And I made mine. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Please? For the kids. They're not kids anymore, I interrupted. And they know what you did. She cried, begged, swore she would make it right. But I was done. The lies they told about me. After I rejected her, the attacks started. Her parents, her siblings, even some of her old friends' people, who had been kind to me. 4 years suddenly turned against me. They called me heartless, cruel, a monster who refused to forgive the mother of his children. She made a mistake, they said. She was manipulated. I didn't care. They painted me as the villain, the cold, unforgiving husband who threw his wife away. But the truth? She threw us away first. My kids stood by me. They saw what she did, how she hurt us. My eldest son told me, Dad, we don't need her anymore. And he was right. She had her chance. She walked away from the life we built, chasing a dream of wealth and luxury. Now she had to live with the consequences. And me? I finally found peace, knowing that I made the right choice.